Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, subscribe or I'll steal your kneecaps. Anyways, for today's video, I wanted to make sort of an updated version of each group's worst era because the one I made a couple months ago was very shitty and I wasn't being truthful. So, here's the updated version. Captions will be available for this video and please note these are just my opinions. Enough with the talking and let's just get into the video.
We are bulletproof. We are bulletproof.
Honestly, I dislike this era with my whole heart. I understand that this is one of BTS's early eras, but there's just some elements of this era that I just hate. First of all, I just find it kind of cringe seeing BTS trying to act all big and bold. It kind of gave me second-hand embarrassment, but I must say I'm very proud of them seeing where they are now. Anyways, the outfits were definitely something. Not the biggest fan of them, but it definitely suited the edgy concept. The choreography was kind of awkward for me, especially at the part where they all lift their shirt up. In short, there's just better eras than this one. I feel like some of y'all were probably thinking that I'd say Ice Cream, but I chose Stay. I've been a huge stan of Blackpink since debut, and I must say out of all their eras, Stay is the most forgettable. The song itself in my opinion is kind of mediocre. I know taste varies but I can never listen to the whole track. It just gets boresome quick. Watching their live stages for Stay, I felt really awkward watching them. I don't really know how to explain it. Like near the end of the stages, the girls would stand up and start clapping and it just felt weird. In terms of success, Stay is literally Blackpink's most underperforming song. Charts, views, all of it. This era was forgettable. I was debated in choosing either District 9 or Side Effects, but I ended up choosing District 9. Firstly, let's talk about the song. I usually am a huge fan of EDM choruses, but what the heck was this chorus? I am not a fan of it at all. It was definitely unbearable to listen to. I think the choreography was fine, but I was sort of disappointed in the lack of decorations in live stages. It felt sort of boring to watch. I wish that they used some of the sets used in the music video for live stages. I just think in general, there are other eras I prefer more than District 9. Knock Knock was honestly such an unmemorable era. First of all, this track for me was very annoying to listen to. If I'm going to be truthful, it felt like a filler comeback. It wasn't that memorable to me. Some verses were kind of mediocre, and the song was a bit too generic for my liking. I could not stand how they kept repeating Knock Knock. The music video didn't really have anything exciting happening and the styling was a bit plain. I tried watching Twice's music stages for this era, and I couldn't help but feel a bit bored watching them, which is a first. Knock Knock definitely is just an era that could have been better. If I'm going to be honest, TXT does not have a bad era, but if I had to choose one for the sake of this video, I'd choose Crown. I fully understand that this is their debut and that not everything is perfect, but personally I just find this era super forgettable. The song itself is mediocre and I never found the chorus catchy. None of the verses stuck with me. I don't know why, but the music video was sort of cheesy for me. Anyways, I will admit that Crown's choreography is very impressive, but yeah, Crown era was just weaker compared to others. Like Crown, I understand that Dalla is Itzy's debut and that not everything is supposed to be perfect, but out of all their eras, Dalla is the most unmemorable. For each of Itzy's eras, I could at least remember an iconic line said in the track or a popular dance that went viral, but for Dalla, my mind is completely blank. The track is an alright one. However, it's a song I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to. I will admit that the music video is super gorgeous to watch, but the choreography and styling wasn't anything new. Even though I'll admit Limitless and the songs on this album are bangers, it's just the styling for this era, dude. They were just tragic, like what the fuck was going on. It still makes me internally scream to this day. The dreads some of the members had were not okay. That was cultural appropriation right there. Also, why does Mark's hair look like he stuck a fork in an electrical socket and got the shit shocked out of him? Umpah felt like a very rushed era. Umpah is a filler track if I'm going to be truthful. I felt like this era was very weak compared to other Red Velvet ones. The music video looked low budget and the song wasn't hitting, unlike Red Flavor or Power Up, which are summer bops. Umpah was just an era that failed to be remembered for me. The reason why I put Raiden as Dream's worst era is because of the timing of this comeback. I believe it was released when the coronavirus was at its peak, and if I'm going to be honest, that made me forget about this whole era in general. Anyways, for the song itself, it's catchy at the parts that need to be memorable. The styling was average because they honestly just wore a shirt with a different jacket design for most of the live stages. I don't know why I genuinely cannot take this era seriously. It gives me vibes of like a middle schooler trying to be edgy or rebellious. As much as I like Love Dun Dun with my full heart, it was definitely a filler song in Everglow's discography. Dun Dun really is not bad at all. I genuinely love this song and I play it often since it slaps hard as fuck. However, the music video looked sort of cheap. Usually Everglow's music videos look cinematic and mesmerizing, but in this case, Dun Dun looked the cheapest out of all their music videos. The line distribution was a mess. I don't think this is anything new, but whoever thought this line distribution was good needs to realize this is a group and not a solo artist. The styling was alright. They all looked really similar to one another but in a different color. Dun Dun era was just weaker than other eras. I know I'm going to get some folks mad in the comment section below, but I honestly don't care. Say My Name was a really bad era for me. This track is very unmemorable and literally came in through one ear and went out the other. I tried to listen to Say My Name again, and the chorus of this track really pisses me off. Ateez's choreography for this era wasn't as impressive as the other ones. Lastly, the B-sides on this album didn't stick with me, excluding Halla Halla. Anyways, that's it for the video, loves. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel or I'll steal your kneecaps. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.
Waking up in the middle of the night, the whole world is sound asleep except for you and I. Gentle kisses like the movies, watch the sunrise and life a fantasy.